And a very good morning to you. Welcome to the show. This is K24 This Morning, and my name is Mungana Mbuvi. Thursdays, we talk about relationships, and today we want to talk about a language. Actually, languages, and they are the languages of love. Do you even know about your languages of love? Do you even know that they exist? Do you know the specific one that vexes you? Well, I do have two guests with me this morning to discuss that particular topic, and I will start to my immediate right. We do have Grace Karaoke, a marriage counselor. How are you doing, Grace?
I'm very well, thank you.
Uko salama kabisa?
Kabisa.
All right. And I also do have an amazing gentleman. He's been here a couple of times before. That is Pastor Emmanuel Gashanja. How are you doing, Pasi?
I'm very well. I'm excited to be here.
Karibu tena sana. You are the founder of iVow.
Yes, I am the founder of iVow.
Yeah. What is iVow all about?
Well, iVow is an organization that speaks to sound marriages. And hopefully will be
marriages.
Yes, hopefully will be the voice of marriages within our nation.
All right.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
All right. So we shall be joined by a third guest in a minute, but I want to start with you, Grace. What are these so-called languages of love?
Yeah, so the very brilliant Gary Chapman,
Yeah.
I guess after doing a lot of work with couples, probably he decided there has to be a reason as to why couples are not finding satisfaction in their relationship. And so he came up with this 5 languages of love, and he purports that all of us, there is a way that we prefer to be loved.
Okay.
There is a way that you will interact with me and I will feel accepted, I will feel cherished, and I will feel loved. And so there will be that satisfaction that when mtu wangu, you have my back, you know me, you feel me, you are walking with me. So that is what the 5 languages of love are about.
All right.
Yes.
I'd like us to sort of like list them. I mean, I know them, but people out there
Yes, they may
are
not.
probably wondering what they are. But before we get to the listing part of it,
Yes.
does your language of love, for instance, is it determined by my language of love, or can we have the same language of love? Can we have different languages of love?
Yeah, because the 5 of them, each one of us has a little bit of it, but there are those 2 or 3 which are more pronounced.
Right.
So there is the language of giving gifts.
Right.
There is the language of quality time. There is the language of words of affirmation. There is the language of acts of service and physical touch. So every one of us has a percentage of those. That love language.
Right.
But some of us have more than others.
Okay.
And so you will find, for instance, the guys, you know, physical
Yetu inakuanga
touch,
physical, mazi.
na acts of service is huge. But also, what you find is that also men do want words of affirmation, big
right.
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll introduce our third guest. How are you doing, Anne?
Good.
Happy birthday, first of all.
Thank you so much.
Najua ni belated. I'm sorry. I'll sing for you before we end the show.
It's okay.
Na naona bado uko na homa, usijali, tutakupatia dawa na kahawa ingine moto na zaidi iko na lemon.
Asante
You're
so
good?
much. Yes, I'm good.
Karibu to the show.
Thank you so much.
We're talking about languages of love. I am sure you know the languages of love. We shall get to you in a second, but I want to talk to Pasi here in regards to the same. Pasi, Historia languages of love, is it just an invention of someone who just sat and said, you know what, I want to talk about, I want to, basically introduce this, or are they actual, are they in existence?
I believe they are in existence. I have seen it in my own life. I've seen it in the couples that we get to counsel, the people we spend time with. We humans have this natural desire for intimacy, a natural desire for love.
Yes.
And like Madame Grace said here, there's different ways each one of us prefers to be addressed.
Yes.
So like Dr. Gary Chapman, before I just read the book and I thought it was a fantastic book, but when I learned about him and how much studying he had done, he's not only a theologian, he's he's done not psychology but philosophy, and he's done so many masters in different things, and he's spent so much time counseling, different couples, and these were the deductions that he came up with, that we each have our love language, the one that we want spoken to us.
Right.
So
are they just limited to 5? Ama kuna much more?
Well, when you think about it, the 5 that he's listed are actually very, very comprehensive.
Yes.
All right.
And it's hard to think, I don't know if it's because, but like, Kipchoge did, no human has limited.
No human is limited.
Yeah, no human is limited. But, I strongly believe that those 5 are very, very comprehensive.
All right. Now, in case you're wondering what these languages of love are, let me start with this one: receiving gifts, which is gifting. There is quality time. There is words of affirmation. There is acts of service. And then there is physical touch.
Yeah.
I'm still going to get to Stella because I want her to tell us her language of love. Percy.
Yes.
These so-called languages of love, people, many, including myself, I think I found about languages of love either late December or early January, somewhere around there. People don't even know that these particular languages exist. And unfortunately for those people, they end up getting into situations in their relationships, such as cheating, such as fights, and so on and so forth. Do you think, in your opinion as a Percy, this one should actually be introduced as part of daily sermon or when people are getting married?
I do. Anytime I'm doing premarital counseling, whether it's Ndoa at Mavuno or personally, within IVOW,
right.
I constantly tell people about love languages because one of the things I've realized when you think about love languages is that, for example, I'll give you an example. If my love language is acts of service, I will tend to portray that or do that for my significant other. To my wife, I'll do acts of service. Her love language might not be acts of service. Her love language is gifts. She loves gifts. That's what will, touch her and speak to her. So here I am doing this acts of service, and wondering, why is this woman not responding to me? Why is it? I've done this. And we constantly get people, you constantly even hear your friends, just saying, I do this.
But she's not getting
it. But it's because you're not speaking her love language. For me, if you come and affirm me, man, you have just reached the core. Yeah.
Okay.
You've reached the core. I will go and do hoops for you.
Yes.
But if you come and give me gifts, I'll be like, oh, cool.
Okay.
Even if it was a Gulfstream jet.
Kuna, no one can reject a jet. I don't know. And Stella, what is your love language?
Just like him, words of affirmation. But I feel like languages of love actually change with experiences. When, for instance, if somebody gives birth, or if a man you love, he's into physical touch, that's his language of love, but then he loses his job.
Wow.
You know that physical touch won't work at all.
Really?
But words of affirmation, telling him, I believe in you, you're going to do it, it's a matter of time, that is actually going to have an impact more than the physical touch is.
Okay.
You get, But
all right, so still on you. If, say, you date me and Mimi uses words of affirmation, sitambui, what happens? Does it mean that you dump me, or will you teach me, rather? So
I think I will actually teach you, because when it comes to words of affirmation, when it comes to things like acts of service, those are people who believe that actions speak louder than words, which is actually most African men. Let me just put it that way. Most African men, you won't find, they won't leave notes on the fridge telling you, they won't they won't send you a long paragraph in the morning telling you how much you're beautiful, how much they love you, but they'll do things, and then you ask them, why don't you usually tell me that you love me? And then they'll be like, see, nimekufanya ABCD. See, I love you. See, it should tell you by now.
I think we am that kind of person. Let me rope in the audience on this, actually. Number one, do you know your language of love? Do you even have one? I'm aware ni wale watu wa Kipchoge, get out. Kindly let us know through our social media pages at K24 TV. You can also let us know via the phone lines on your screen. 21222 is the number to text as well. We'd love to hear from you. And let me jump to Grace for a minute. You're a marriage counselor.
Right.
watu wakikuja kwako na mashida zao za marriages, because I'm sure a lot of people will tell you, I just don't understand my wife.
Yeah.
I don't understand my husband. Do you think that part of the problem is actually language of love?
Huge, huge. Because you see, one of the things that you need in a relationship is for you to be interested in me. So if you're not getting me, then I'm thinking you are so disinterested.
Yes.
I need you to be here to spend time with me. I need you to talk to me. I need you to give me gifts. I need you to help me change the diaper of the baby, because I'm an acts of service kind of woman.
Okay.
So when you change the diaper, oh my goodness, you know, that is the romantic thing of the year.
Oh my God.
So if you are not showing interest in me, then I'm gonna think this guy doesn't even get it. I don't even think that.
Do you know how much a diaper stinks?
I know.
So you want me to keep on changing diapers so that I can show you that I love?
That is when I'm thinking, this guy is in this with me. He's my guy. He's my man. He's my
me. But any day I will buy those diapers. No problem. Changing.
And so yes, one of the things that I do, one of the assessments I do when I have couples come in, and I listen to them, and I'm thinking, this is a personality clash, temperament clash, or even a misunderstanding of what the other person needs. And so we will do the whole thing of, so what does it mean to you when he calls you and tells you, I'm going to be late?
Yeah.
And then she will say whatever it means. The guy had no idea. He just thought that she's just being nagging.
Yeah.
You know, but her language of love is connection, which is now when we are talking about quality time, because quality time means connection. That you are here with me, I can feel you, you are thinking about me.
Yeah.
That's what words of affirmation, the same thing.
Yeah.
So I like what you said. When we are in crisis, we go back to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and we go back to basics. And actually, words of affirmation is about basics, and even acts of service is about basics. So if I don't have money and I don't have food on my table, you can tell me how much you love me, but if I'm hungry, you haven't communicated love to me.
Stella.
So we kind of, you can't just say, me, I'm a words of affirmation person. No, we kind of move along. We're very dynamic in these languages of love. So that's why I said, one of the things to have very strong relationships in our marriages is to have interest in the person, so that you know you work with them.
Okay, we have a Victor on the line. Victor, good morning. Richard, habari yako?
Mzuri sana, how are you?
I'm quite fine. What is your question or comment about the languages of love?
My comment. Wow, we are dealing with a very good topic.
Thank you.
Thank you for those marriage counselors who are inside there.
Right.
I like the 5 languages. And they are so much, they're actually psychological. I mean, I'm a professional in psychology.
Okay.
And especially I'm dealing with what we call gender intelligence difference.
Okay.
The reason as to why we are not staying long in our relationship, and maybe we have crashes, is because we don't understand what our partner wants.
Yes.
And what we should give, at what ratio, at what ingredients, at what time.
Yes.
You know, the reason as to why we are the Kipchoge type this side.
Right.
Our language is such that it is based on act.
Yeah.
We don't have actually feelings to express as it is being seen. Action speaks louder than words.
Yes.
And those actions involve even the gifts. Even our partners may not see, but they will see later. That's like the other lady who said, there just said.
All right. Thank you very much,
Richard. It's
Richard.
a good thing. I like it.
Asante sana, Richard. Okay. An amazing caller there, of course, saying that actions do speak louder than words. And let's talk about actions for a minute. Stella.
Yes.
Your language of love is words of affirmation.
Yes.
So me, nikienda out with my buddies on Friday, I come back on Monday morning to change to go to work, but I kept on communicating with you, called you, babe, I love you so much. Oh, babe, I just saw your Instagram post. You look amazing. Oh, babe, ni lipstick gani umetumia leo? Nini nilikununulia? Is that okay with you?
So you see, that's the mistake that people tend to make. You are doing it because, you know, I want to hear it. You're doing it because, you know, that's my language of love. So you are actually using it against me.
Can you just hold that thought? We have a Jesse from Kirinyaga. Jesse, good morning.
This is Joshua Mutinda from Kirinyaga.
Asante sana for the call. What is your question or comment?
Now, allow me to contribute to the discussion on the language of love.
Please do.
There is something I've noticed, Bonambuvi, and I think in today's world,
Yes, sir.
when someone confines themselves to a room and comes up with their own theories, they sit down and write a book, and then we make these human laws and principles. Because I believe fundamentally there is only one natural language of love, which is basically care, and it's enshrined in the Bible, whereby you are told that a woman was created for companionship and intimacy. All the other issues are details. You get the point? All the other issues that we talk about, I don't know what it's all about care and intimacy.
Yes.
The rest doesn't apply. It's not natural. These are human-born principles that are put, and that's why relationships and marriages are collapsing. Because people are rating their relationships and marriages based on other people's experiences and documentation. And then when they evaluate themselves, they realize it's not working. They are using the wrong yardsticks. It's care and intimacy, full stop.
Joshua Asante sana from Kirinyaga. He has said it's just care and intimacy.
By the way,
love and intimacy.
Let me tell you, Joshua, you're very right. It's care and intimacy.
Right. Yes.
However, care and intimacy to me and care and intimacy to you are two different things.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you don't understand that, you know, sometimes we like to generalize things. For example, I love what she said. You're just doing it to please me and you're using it against me. The thing about 5 love languages, as she said earlier on, is that there are 5 love languages, okay? Now, if you ever do the test, like for example for me, there are 3 that I score really high and 2 that I score, you know, very low. Okay. The 3 that I score high are 9, 8, and 8. All right. So for me, it's not just one love language. So it's not just the affirmation. For me, it's also quality time and acts of service. Yes. Okay. So all those combined is what, you know, speaks to me.
Yeah, that is your love and intimacy.
That's my love and intimacy.
Yes.
Now, for Joshua, it could be acts of service. It could be physical touch.
Yeah.
Okay. That's totally different. Is it all care and intimacy? Yes, it's all care and intimacy. Right. However, you need to understand, what does care and intimacy mean to someone else?
Okay.
You know, and this is, I think, the biggest issue that we have is I don't take time to look at my person and tell her and ask her, what does care and intimacy look like? And she doesn't take time to ask me. So we don't take time to observe because, like she said earlier on, we evolve sometimes because of experiences, because of maturity. What was my love language when I was 25 when we were getting married is not my love language now when I'm 40, you know.
So now that you're 40, that was funny. But to be honest, before I get to Grace, I'm still on you, Aunt Stella, because me have done what you want. Si unataka gifts maybe and words of affirmation. Niko huko nimepigia dial delivery. You have the drinks that you want. You have the food that you want. I've bought you an amazing dress. Boss, wacha mimi Friday nijibambe na maboys wangu. Because my love language on a Friday is the beer bottle. So, tafadhali, nipatie time yangu.
So you see, it's all about understanding each other. You know, at the end of the day, pia kuna kitu inaitwa respect.
All right.
You get, so you're forgetting that, like he said, kuna zenye you score really high and there are those ones that you score really low.
Okay.
As much as you want to spend time with your boys and you've made sure that I am okay, I'll appreciate that. But the fact that you're not communicating, of course, I'll get pissed off. And there's also about quality time.
Yes.
And I understand that as much as I want to be with you, I understand you need your space, you need your time with your boys.
Right.
I can't be clinging
Friday
on
to
you.
Sunday by day.
I can't be holding on to you and clinging on to you like every single day.
Okay.
You get, it's all about understanding each other. And by understanding each other, I'm not doing things because you want them. Like I'm doing things because I feel like, and passion and love,
Okay. Grace, do we because people will clash by day. They will clash a lot. And a lot of, like she said, African men, we always say, si nimekufanyia kila kitu nataka. Si watoto wamelipwa school fees. nilikuja nikatengeneza shamba, nikalima, nimetengeneza fence, nimekusaidia kuosha nyumba, nimeleta diapers. Give me, nataka kwenda zangu bana, tusisumbuane. And people clash a lot. And you find that I've tried to understand your language of love, but you're not understanding, not necessarily my language of love, because men, we don't have necessarily, I don't know about you, Percy, but Mimi, I do not have a specific language of love. Mimi, as long as you're good, we are good, you give me what I want, we are fine. But people clash a lot because of that.
Yeah, the underlying issue here is the culture of your relationship. So you need to understand that your whole relationship is whole. And so when we are talking about you going out for 3 days with your, so what happens to me? You know, what happens?
I've taken care of you.
That is, and you see in Mbuvi, what you are saying is that you understand my language of love. As far as your language of love, you know, wewe nitakusort vile najua kujisort, kukusort. But I'm not listening to the other deeper, the intimacy is not there. How do we create intimacy? It's about space.
All right.
It's about us being in the same space. We create intimacy. So I'm going to say now. Let me.
Actually, let me just hold you on that thought. We have a caller rather from Pangani. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm very fine.
What is your comment or question?
First of all, greetings to all the people out there.
Wamesalimika.
So basically my problem is even if you give a girl the love of language she wants from you, at the end of the day she'll use it to attack you and to steal something from you.
Yes.
That's not true love for me.
Erexi, what do you mean she will attack you and steal from you?
If you have money,
yes,
to say you're giving her gifts every day, gifts every week, gifts every month. You see, you're just spoiling the child.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you speaking from experience?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have experience about that. That's why I called.
Erexi, before I let you go, tell me, what is your language of love?
Basically, my language of love is sacrifice and care.
Sacrifice and care.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Erexi.
Thank you.
Is that a new language of love? Ama, we can...
Acts of service and probably time.
My director says that's a traditional language of love.
Like we said, these are general terms that really, when you think about how we express to each other how we love them or how we want to be loved, I mean, it can be as different as many people who are here, and you can call it whatever. It's just that this guy, the Gary Chapman, did his research and he put it together in a way that we... Now, when we are talking about care and intimacy, it's just like when you are in church and they tell you all these scriptures and you don't know how it applies actually in your actual life. And that is what we have a problem with. Couples who are coming to us, it has nothing to do with I don't love him anymore or she doesn't love me anymore. It has something to do, we are not getting the intimacy we need from each other. And part of this intimacy is being able to understand your spouse and where they are, how they were brought up, how they were socialized, and now you create your own culture. I like what you say. I need from Friday to Sunday, I need my time with the boys.
Okay.
That is understandable. That's what you did when you were single.
We do have Esther from Nairobi. Esther, good morning.
Morning.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
What is your question or comment?
I wanted to ask a question.
Please do.
Okay, now what I wanted to ask is... When I wanted to ask...
Yes.
When one is married and everything was okay.
Yes.
But then along the line, you find maybe as a lady you lose your job.
Yes.
And now when you're starting to hustle and all that, you find that now the man is demeaning you.
Okay.
How do you handle such a situation? Because maybe you are there, you're supporting that person.
Yeah.
But now when you've lost your job, the word of affirmation is no longer there. They are demeaning you. They are seeing you like nothing. How can someone handle in a marriage situation an issue like that?
All right, Esther. Thank you very much for that. So Esther seems like she's anajongelelea in this case. Pasi tuanze na wewe because you're the people who say what God has put together, let no man put asunder. Why do you think Esther is probably going through this?
Again, like the psychologist would tell you, there's the presenting issue, and then there's the underlying issue.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's important to understand why they respond the way they are responding.
Yeah.
You'll find it's more than just the job aspect that he's responding the way he's responding.
Yeah.
It could be a power thing. It could be something that stems from family issues or things that he has experienced growing up.
Right.
So this is how he's responding to her, and I think it's important for her to take some time to understand what it could be that is causing him to respond like this. Because if you lose a job, I mean, how many people lose jobs?
Many.
Tons of people lose jobs. I've been laid off, I don't know, 3-4 times. But does that make me a different person? Does that change whatever?
Yeah.
What it changes is just maybe there's a second income that's not coming in.
Right.
But it doesn't change the status of who we are.
Yeah.
Doesn't change our love.
It doesn't change
affect?
our love.
Yeah.
So you have to understand, what is the underlying issue that has triggered him to begin responding in such a manner.
Aunt Stella.
Yes.
You tell me from a chick's perspective.
Yeah.
What do you, I know you're not married yet, but what do you think is happening to this couple?
You see, there's somebody who once said, love is actually very selfish. When I listened to him, I was like, I understand what you're saying, but like you said, she should understand what is going on with him first. But here she is, she needs him the most.
Yeah.
No matter what he's going through, he needs to put it down and like really focus on her. Because we tend to, okay, here I am. I know people will tag me as men are trash kind of girl, but as much as I'm doing things for you,
Yes.
everything, it's all about compromise. If your language of love is physical, my language is words of affirmation. I need to wewe si mtu wa kuniambia, utaniambia kila time, but I want to hear it. It's not in your nature. It's not in your nature, but you try and understand. You try and put yourself down kidogo and make me feel. It's all about compromise and sacrifice. So I think that the husband should actually support her, and therefore...
This is what I think. Huyo jamaa alikuwa anataka tu pesa yako Esther, by the way. Now that you're, for lack of a better word, now that you're broke, ameacha kuwa na ukika msupu sasa. As in, alikuwa anaangalia handbag yako anaona pesa tu. Anaangalia ATM yako anaona pesa tu. Sasa venye akakitu akako, hapo ndio language of love imekuwa kitu kingine. We take a short break though. When we return, we still continue the conversation. Languages of love. What is your language of love? Let us know on 21222. The phone lines, of course, on your screen. You can also tweet us at K24 TV. We'll be right back.